qualify with Nate, come to me, find a home, write a contract, you buy it, fine. You go to Nate, come to find out your credit's a little low, that's where you go to Regina. That's her expertise of work. We're keeping this in-house so we can keep good clients and customers and knowing that you get quality customer service.
Yeah, and communication is the biggest thing with that. All three of us in the loop are all working to the same goal. We know what we need to do, what needs to get done. That's the biggest thing from your point of view. Is that you know who's working on it, who's supposed to get what done, and we all should be in the loop on where you're at in the process.
And at the same time, we are communicating with you as the client as well. You're not like, well, Kevin ain't called me in 3 days. We don't work like that. We're always in communication with you, whether it's email, text, voicemail, whatever it is, you're going to be hearing from us. So with all that said and done, Regina, if Bill got any questions after, we're here.
Kevin mentioned 620 credit score. You might have a credit score over that. You might be at 680. But even if you get your score then to 700 or 710, that might even help the interest rate down. So even though you might qualify, your credit score might be fine. Getting a few 10, 15 extra points on that might lower your rate and save you, thousands of dollars over the life of the loan. So even though you qualify, it's still a good idea to say, have her consult with her and see where you're at.
Yeah, my name is Regina Littles, and let me tell you how important points really are. How I got into credit coaching and credit consulting was I graduated from college, Florida State University, and lo and behold, I tried to get an apartment and I couldn't get approved. And it was very frustrating being $50 applications, not knowing anything about this credit score and how bad my credit was. And so what happened was there was a lady at the last rental apartment that I went to, and she said, well, you just need 5 points to get approved. And that's the thing that stuck in my head. How do I get those 5 points? I did not have a clue, and she didn't either. And so I went on this rave rant about credit and research, and within a matter of 2 weeks, I got 25 points. 25 points, and I was able to move into that apartment. And they let me move in because I was able to increase my credit. Now, when you buy a home, if you're short 5, 20, 30 points, depending on the guidelines, your credit score is going to matter because you first got to get approved for the loan. But if you want your score to be higher to get in a different interest bracket, that's where I come in. I pretty much teach workshops all across the country. I teach them in Orlando, I teach them in New Jersey, New York, Texas, Ohio. I travel and I teach and I coach people on how to get their credit score up. We have a lot of people right now who are trying to refinance, they're rebuilding, they're starting over, they're buying their second home because they may have got a bankruptcy, and that's what I specialize in. I have written about 9 books on this subject of credit. The first one I wrote was called Innocent Victims, because that's what I believe we are. Credit is a subject that we do not know, and it's foreign. And so this is what I recommend. I recommend you take the time to look and review your credit report to see exactly and get to know what it is. It's simple. It's similar to like a report card. Basically, that's all it is. People ask me, how do you get 100 points? How do you get 50 points? How do you get 25? And it's very simple. There's things on your report that are worth points. There's different sections. And I have one here today that I'm going to pretty much kind of run through. You have a credit report, and this credit report paints the picture of you. So it's computing all this information to predict a score that everybody's going to grade you on, just like a report card. And there's a summary section on there. Okay, that's one of the most important sections that you actually want to know, because it's going to be the red flag area to tell you what's wrong. Okay, so that's what I want you to actually do before you actually, go out there and make a decision. See how many points you can get so you can actually get the best deal. There's a lot of errors on the credit report, and it may not be the lender's fault. It's no one's fault. It's just something that has not really been taught to us. Okay, and so we want to make sure that if we have a car payment of $350 and that's the only bill we have, that car payment of $350 is the only thing that's showing in that payment section. It's just that simple. If you see on your credit report that it says 750 and it's not 350, what you're paying, you automatically know that that's wrong. It needs to be corrected. It's just will cost you.
Yes, it
It's
will.
just that simple, okay? Inquiries. Your file is broken down just like a school grade. If you've ever been to college, you know that if your teacher says 50% of your grade is homework, 25% is midterm, 25% is final. There's a total of 100% you can get there. Which area is worth the most points? The homework. So that's where you want to go first. You want to focus on making sure you complete all your homework, because if you get all your homework, you're going to get those 50 points. Same thing with this credit report. It's just that simple. 35% of your score is going to be based on all of your accounts. It's going to grade you on how many accounts were paid on time. Inquiries. If you're applying for credit when you don't need to be, and please don't be applying for a lot of credit right before you buy a house, because that's 10% of your grade. Okay? Length of history is 15% of your grade. Now this is something that, you know, I've been dealing with. How do I solve this length problem? Because a lot of us can't, we really can't help the length problem. But we can. There's something that we can do. The solution that I came up with the length is make sure you watch your credit report once or twice a year. The length is 15%. So someone that's 18 that had a credit card or an account, their first account, their credit is going to be higher in that 15% bracket because of what? They started at 18 versus someone that started at 25. It's just that, you know, I've got to face life, okay? But this is one of my first books, and there's a lot of helpful tips and graphs in this book that I wrote to tell you really how to get 20 points. It's just 20 points, 30 points. This book has it all. There's graphs. You know, my story is kind of like the first chapter of, you know, explaining what happened to me, and then I pretty much give you the information. I don't give it all away, but I pretty much give it to you in this book. This is my actual ladies book. It's called The Credit Journal, and what this is you growing your score 65 days a year. So I broke this book down into 12 months, and so it's something that you should be doing every month if you want to grow your credit. It's like a journal. You're just journaling your progress. If you know in January that you have a 600 and you want a 625, do what needs to be done in January in this book to get those points. So I mean, it's a hot book right now, but I'm just here to assist you and, you know, get you prepared to making you know, the biggest decision of your life. This is an investment, and we don't want that to be not an investment. Okay, we want this to be an investment. Nate and Kevin, they're really good guys. They know their business. They know their Fox, featured on Fox. I've been all over the world doing this, so if you have any questions or want me to look at your credit report to see what it is, if you have it here, I will do that for free. I can pretty much look at your file and say, hey, we need to do this. This is where the error is. This is going to give you 10 points. Before I close, I brought some credit reports just to show you how simple and easy, hey, it is. Here's a guy out of Virginia. Okay, his name is Terry. He came to me in August of 2010. This is his report, and I have permission to show it to you. He is actually one of my clients. I do financial advising and wealth building too. But his scores were 573, 541, and 564. Okay? Now, this is the next report. Okay? So he's in the low 500s, right? All right. That's Terry. That's August of 2010. Right, here's Terry now. Date of this report is June 23rd. Terry has a 727. His middle score is a 606, and he's at a 675. Okay? So that's from August of 2010 to the next year, which is June, okay? And Terry loves me, so he wants a 900. He says, Regina, you're gonna get me a 900 one day, and I'm gonna stick it out until you do. So here's Terry this year, 2012, same guy. This is April of this year. I believe I ran his scores, and he's over 800 now, but I don't have that report. But this is Terry again. This is April of 2000 this year, and these are Terry's scores. He's at a 744, 643, and a 682. Okay? But like I said, this year, last month when I pulled his scores, he has 2 800s. Okay? But that is a file that I wanted to show you what you can do if you're determined to grow your credit score, which is what I teach my clients. It doesn't matter how low you are, start growing it, start doing what it needs to do, just like anything else for any other subject in any other school class you attend. It's just that simple. So thank you for listening to me, and I wish all of you much success, and I can't wait.
Actually, not even the zip code, just the community I wanted to be in.
Yeah.
So anytime it hits that community, I get an email sent to me with the house and how much it is for sale, and then any updates, if the price change, any new houses at the market. I wasn't ready to buy last year when I moved here, but it's a good idea to start to get to know the market that you want to be in. You'll start to see trends in home prices, see what's out there, what you can afford. It's just interesting. It's a good time.
Annualcreditreport.com. Free. However, you will not get the credit score, which is what you want. This is going to give you the creditkarma.com will give you the score, but not the credit report. It'll give you the free score. And then, of course, True Credit, which is one of my favorites. I used to monitor banks and the different credit monitoring services out there, but TrueCredit.com, that's my top